With every layer of growth, there's another reveal. And you got to tangle with that as you're moving through life, trying to be this person to everyone else. So I've given up on being this person to everyone, and I'm just me. I'm just me. I'm learning me, and I'm giving myself grace and doing as much as I can to put light in the world, as much as I'm discovering.
Yo, what's good? What's poppin'? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton, son, Mr. Boogity, all here with another episode of Funky Friday. And I promise, I really do promise to give good content for the masses. Most of all, I promise to keep it funky for your assets. Enough about me. And on to the person that I get the opportunity to interview today. This person is a singer. This person is a rapper. This person is an actress. And also the host of the Estelle Show, exclusively on Apple Music and all Apple platforms. I present the son and introduce the others. She's not an American boy, but she has an amazing song called You Can Be My American Boy. Was that corny?
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Say less!
That was perfect.
Estelle, ladies and gentlemen.
How you doing?
I think I'm doing good.
You think?
I know I'm doing good.
Okay, yeah.
I know it.
You are, yeah.
What we got working on these days?
Oh my goodness.
Where you at?
Oh, I'm. First of all, I'm happy. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
This is such a good time. Like I watched the show, of course, and I just think I'm just happy to be here and chat with you a little bit. I have a new album coming, so I figured this would be an awesome time to come and chat to you about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it any features that we, should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, look, we got La Russell, who we love. He's a brand new artist. Well, brand new, but he's an artist that everybody loves right now from Vallejo.
Right.
I'll say that instead of saying Oakland, he's from Vallejo specifically. Okay. We got Tidra Moses on the new album. We got D-Nice on the new album. I wanted to put, Channel Trey. I wanted to put, and Duran Bernard. I'm forgetting, hold on. So many just good voices and people that I love. Can I curse a little bit? I can curse a bit.
Please.
All right, people that I fuck with is
yes!
people that I fuck with, people that pulled up for me, they're my real friends.
Yeah.
This whole thing for me was about keeping the energy pure and clear, when I was recording. I believe with music that music is a thing. It's energy is frequency, right? We know this. So I believe that we move so many people's energy and vibes when we perform the songs, when we play the songs, right? So I wanted to make sure this stayed pure and this stayed true to exactly what we was talking about.
I can dig that.
What I was talking about.
Out of all the I'm a fan of, the artist but D-Nice to me is that soulful.
Yeah.
Him and his brother, by the way.
Yeah. D-Nice is my brother for real. Like he put together, he kept us together in a time where everybody felt like, man, what we doing?
Yeah.
He was on Instagram Live with us. He was DJing. People know him as the MC D-Nice, but he got on Instagram Live and started DJing for people, like playing some of his favorite songs. And it was a thing where everyone was like, I need this. This is it. And I noticed that he didn't play a single new record. He played records that reminded us of who we were as a culture, as a people. And I was like, this is the time I'm on. This is it. And it doesn't surprise me because energy and frequency, you pull up with the same people, with the same people who are on what you're on,
For
right?
sure.
But he kept us in such a good space through the Panini. Right. So the single I have with him, Love on Love, that we have out right now it's reminders. It's like, yo, we're about love. Don't forget who you are, no matter what's going on.
What did you find out about yourself and what makes this project different than previous projects?
Well, every other project I was doing was for something or somebody else other than me. It was true to who I was at the time. I had to make it for my family. I had to make it for my mom and dad. I had to make it for other people's dreams displaced, right? And then I got to a point where my body was like, this ain't even you. Really? My body was shut down. Like I couldn't sing at a certain point. Physically, I just felt the weakest I've ever felt. Like I was slightly overweight. It was a lot going on where I was just like, I don't feel good. None of this feels good anymore. I don't want to do it. And I was like, Love a Drop might have been my last album. And God had other plans. He was like, no. Come back to the dance. Come back to the dance.
Come here.
Come back to the dance. And I literally I had to scrap everything for a second. I stopped doing and I started being, right? I say that I went out and enjoyed myself. I went out and partied a lot, but with the energy and the purpose of like, I'm not even going to be drunk. I'm going to just listen and remember why I love music, right? And every time I would get into that bag and that space, people were like, you're like a firefly. You're like a fairy when you're hype, when you're happy. And I was like, I like myself there, you know? And so every single song has that intention and that energy to be light and to be joyful and to be happy and to be full of love and in that moment. And that's when I started recording again in maybe 2018.
Wow. So is that a form of writer's block or just unmotivated?
It was a life block. It was like life hit a hard wall and it was like, there's not even a version of what am I going to do next? It was just like, I don't want to do nothing. You know, I've worked since I was 17. Like worked. Like it wasn't just like, oh, part-time job. No, I was outside. I was touring. I was moving around. I was recording. I had another job. I had this job. I was doing everything. Yeah. And I stopped at 37 because I was like, I'm tired. And so I had to like figure myself out again, like recalibrate, hear other stories from my family that weren't necessarily true, you know, but they were, you know, my parents in your family do the best they can with what they got.
For sure.
So not shooting at them in any capacity, but you learn the truth as you're able to handle it.
For sure.
And the stories I heard were not what the real was and what my grown-up mind comprehended. Right. So it was unpacking all of that and then being like, man, so who do I want to be now? Because none of that don't mean nothing. No one cares, right. You know? And this was a spur for me. I had to go to therapy. I had to talk to my mom about stuff. Keep talking to her about things, reorganize my brain, rewire my neural pathways, all of that stuff. And I'm still doing it now. It don't stop.
So I'm always enlightened by creatives, no matter what you're creating. Like, how long did this project take you? And not forgetting the business element to being signed to, you know, labels have expectations and, you know, where is that at?
Well, I'm signed to myself and I have been for some years, almost 10, 12 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, thank God. Because I look at the state of the industry and I'm like, oh, this is the best place to be because you're really not making any money unless you are signed to yourself. And you can do your deals according to how you want to do them. And that was a lesson I learned. I started off independent. I signed with a mini major. I signed with a major around the world. That was Atlantic. And then I signed back to myself. So it was like, oh, I know what to do with that. I know how to handle myself, whether this is here or not, whether a major's attached to it or not. I know what to do. And people are just now finding out that I've been independent for 10 years. Wow. And because of I know what to do. We know how to handle ourselves. And also, the music is good.
No, for sure.
Like the music, thank God.
It's impactful.
Exactly. It's doing its purpose.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. This record, it took me 6 years, which is longer than ever, because I had to grow up. I'd take it at pace. And I wanted to do it different this time because the last times were for everybody else. This time I was like, you know what, it's me and you, God. Whatever you told me to put in this, I believe you're going to open all the ways for me to get it to where it needs to go in your time. And so I'm comfortable waiting. I'm chilling. I'm good chilling.
I could dig that.
Yeah. And it was perfect because, look, La Russell got on it maybe last month, right? La Russell I didn't even know who La Russell was when I started recording this record, you know? But he was the perfect addition to the song New Direction. And to me, that's it. Wait until the time. He was like, I wrote that record maybe 2020, and I had to wait till this year to finish it. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't place any space or time or anybody else's restrictions on my stuff. I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do.
I always hear, and I'm asking this question just off of sheer curiosity personally. You always hear recording artists speak about it takes time, and man, that's an old record. I did that, you know, blah, blah, blah. But what moves you to go back and tap into that song, that verse, that line, that melody, and what holds you back from
just being like,
yeah.
Well, for me with this album, it's not even like a hold back. I think that every record deserves the full thing. You know, especially when you're making music that's going to stand the test of time. And I'm proud of the fact that I can make music that people want to hear 16 years after it's released. I'm proud of the fact that I walked in today and Conqueror was playing, and I remember where I was, who I was
For sure.
when that record came out, but people still feel it in a way that for me is like, I'm so happy, I'm so grateful that I could do this record and that you feel it and you understand it. I needed it as much as you need it. So the timing of when it comes or whatnot, once you've recorded it, for me, isn't the issue. It's just, it's not even when it comes, it comes. I don't hold on to the, like, I need to put this out yesterday. And because we're not moving to hype, we're moving to God's plan, technically.
Right.
Even if we think we're moving to hype, we're moving according to the journey that you and him set up, you know, you and God set up. So, I don't really look at it like, oh, I need to put this out yesterday. It sounds like the sound of. I aim to make timeless music. I aim to write words and sing words that mean something to people.
For sure.
That's it. And when it comes, it comes.
Man, I like that. Man, I done jumped all the way ahead. I mean, I just caught into a vibe of like I'm really interested, right? Yeah. We talked off camera about, just what my desire is.
Yeah.
I love to have candid conversation. I think the idea and the thought process of this podcast world has given a lot of opportunities to people, but there's just still an element where it's like, you do your run and everybody asking the same questions and this, and it's like, nah, bro. One of those questions that everybody asks is like, yo, which is a real question. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from London. My parents are from Senegal and Grenada. And they met some point in 1978 in London. And here I came. No, they met in 79. I was born the year after. Yeah.
London winning right now. It's a lot of people who...
We've been outside.
Man, listen. It's a lot of people who play roles of Americans that you realize, like, hold on. You see them on the red carpet.
I'm shocked.
What?
Okay.
What?
I'm shocked. I'm like,
they say "fru" and
okay.
If a lot of they're like, man, that was.
Here you go.
That was
let me
Saint, you know what I mean? Like you see
best.
Snowfall dude, and I'm like, hold on. He get to talking. It's like, hold on, I feel bamboozled.
Yeah. Give me your best British accent. Let me hear something.
You know, some crickets. Oh no, crumpets.
What?
Biscuits and tea.
That's good. It's the way he says it with a smile. And every American does that. They say it with the like.
It's just so cheerful. Even when you look at London, it's like so gray. But everybody's just served
Did you go and make the joint?
fish and chips. And it's like,
Wild.
it ain't nothing but a fish fillet.
Fair. That's about right.
And then crumpets is like a biscuit and like tea.
Well, hold on.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me,
Now,
please.
wait a second.
Let me know.
Let me translate.
Please.
Okay, no, biscuits are cookies.
Like regular cookies. Butter cookies.
Biscuits. That's what we call them, biscuits. Any version of a cookie is a biscuit.
Like a chocolate chip biscuit.
Biscuit. Yep. Look, maybe the first 2 years of me being in the United States was me translating everything. And I just got to the end of my translation. Well, maybe a year ago, I discovered that you guys call yuccas cassavas. It's a different type. I cook, so my whole soul is like, cassava. So you know cassava?
What
like,
that is?
It's like a root vegetable. You guys call it yucca. Like yucca fries and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right. I cook, so I'm out my life trying to find cassava, trying to find this plant, right? I had a craving. My parents are from Africa. We make that regular day. And I was walking around every store just looking like, what is this? Can you show me this to the people? And they were like, it's a yucca. I felt so dumb in Whole Foods. So it's stuff like that is forever going to be just in the air.
I could dig it.
Translations.
So even, are your parents in America now?
No, they stayed there. No one's here. It's just me.
No family?
No. They refuse.
Really?
They refuse. Like, I've asked a few times and they're like, what visit?
What is it about America that keeps them away?
Well, we have... I can't speak, like, it's not like, America keeps them away,
right.
But they have big lives. And they enjoy their lives where they live. You know, they enjoy seeing me flourish in my life. And I'm grateful for that though, because it could be a thing of like, no, we gotta come where you are, we gotta be a part of everything you're doing. And when I'm home, they are. But also when I'm home, they're like, go to work and go do that promo over there.
Yeah.
I'm not coming. And I don't like the idea that I chose to be an artist, so now they gotta have this, everything that I do is reflected on them.
sure.
And they, and then I had I'm the oldest of 9, well, second oldest of 9, oldest of 6
That's
girls.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Same mom, same dad?
2. So it's a lot.
Two to who?
2 separate. So my mom and dad's story, they had me. My mom already had a son.
Okay.
My dad already had a son.
Okay.
They met, had me and my 2 sisters.
Okay.
Broke up. My mom gets remarried.
Okay.
My mom gets married, has 5 other kids, and then gets back with my dad. Yeah.
Have you had that conversation with them?
Oh, for sure. This is part of the whole reorganization of Estelle.
Where's the crumpets right now?
You
'Cause
know,
I'm like, I need the tea.
The crumpets.
I need the tea.
It was a lot. It was a lot of. Well, this was the original story I was given.
Okay.
He went away, and then come to find out he didn't just go away. It was a lot of going on in between the 2 families that forced them apart. And so my perception of my whole life up to maybe 37 was, man, why weren't you there? Why? Even when they got back together, at, so they split when I was 3 years old, me and my 2 sisters and my brother. They got back together when I was 23, got married when I was 33. Right.
They never was married.
My mom was married to somebody else. My dad was never married. He was waiting for my mom. I look at it like he didn't even know he was waiting for my mom. Yeah. And so their whole story to me is I can never judge anybody. I can never tell anybody how to live their stuff.
Yeah.
I just try and give empathy and grace and be about truth. Like tell the truth though, because I was living under a whole other perception of what my dad was about and what my mom, this hero villain thing that was going on.
For sure.
My
That
mom was
happens
like,
naturally.
yeah, actually, hold on a second, let me tell you the truth. I was like, lady, what? Grandma,
Yeah.
lady, auntie, wait, you got what? It was a lot that happened. But forgiveness.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So no, forgiveness and empathy help you get over that.
There's a lot that goes on with understanding situations, especially with your family. I dealt with that here recently. Rest in peace to my heavenly angel, my grandmother.
Yeah.
And I just found myself really being curious about how certain things were. And it's not that you're immature to the situation. I don't think that you're able to really digest or download what's really actually going on because of age, right? And then there's things that you just assume, and then you realize like the person that you've been calling auntie really ain't your auntie. The person that you've been calling mister is really like the hidden lover of your auntie. And then you start realizing like, hold on, this ain't really my cousin. It's like, no, silly, this was the person that, I can't tell you that at 8 years old, because you and him, y'all got a real relationship. Y'all play on the same basketball team. But what am I gonna say? This was your coach.
Right. Mind-blowing every time because it pulls away everything you thought was your foundation.
Yeah.
And so rebuilding that is a thing, and it takes forever because you've been that person longer than you've been this person.
Yeah.
It's like before and after the reveals,
For
right?
sure.
And with every layer of growth, there's another reveal, and you got to tangle with that as you're moving through life, trying to be this person to everyone else. So I've given up on being this person to everyone, and I'm just me. I'm just me. I'm learning me, and I'm giving myself grace and doing as much as I can to put light in the world, as much as I'm discovering it.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
Because even for me, it's like, I know me. I'm trying to dial.
Today?
I'm trying to dial me back some. Because, me can be a little bit capital M, capital E, exclamation point.
Yeah.
And sometimes I may not even have to press the shift button by pressing the M and the E. And I just press
You just
M
pull
and
up.
E.
I mean, some people have big Leo energy. I like to call it that, but some people have that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, is my thing, as long as you're not hurting anybody or yourself.
That's what I say.
I think, yeah.
A person's confidence can expose a lot of insufficiencies in a person.
Well, that's the hurting yourself part. That's work. That takes some work. Because, if you're talking about a person's confidence can expose, then you know what the things are that you got to fix, right? So it's like, go about your day and know that, well, I give myself grace for being whack about that. I know I gotta fix it and I'm gonna work on it.
Whack about what?
But I'm saying you're so, like you said, knowing yourself or knowing that there's some inefficiencies or things that you gotta fix. Go about your day, but know that you have to fix things and make sure you do the job of trying to fix them. That's my point. Like, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah. Did you grow up playing an instrument?
Nothing but my voice.
What? Do you know how to play instruments?
I do this. I dabble, but I'm not the girl that's like, bring, no. But I know how to be like, so I need you to play this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing this melody for you, play that. I need you to, yeah.
So, you know, A flat.
Well,
C.
I know this. You know, like, I know, sing this for me, play this for me. Or it starts over here, the key goes over there. Or play, that's in C. But I'm not the girl that's going to be reading notes and calling out stuff because I didn't go to traditional music school. I was just like church and friends and Jodeci and SWV and
there you go.
That was the school of music.
The school.
Mary J. Blige.
You grew up in the church, I'm assuming?
Scary times. Good times, scary times.
That's dopey, like, for sure.
Did you grow up in church?
I'm a preacher's son.
How?
Pray for me.
No, how do you feel that is affected you? Like,
it gave me the foundation
yeah.
of really my life. Yeah. It gave me the roots. But the church also taught me how to judge. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of people identify that as judging, that's right? But we all do it. Let's stop.
Meanwhile, what's the scripture? Judge not lest ye be judged. That's what we do is judge.
You know what I'm
each
saying?
other. Yeah.
It's like, yo,
yeah.
We all judge. We all got our favorites and, you know.
Yeah. But we do, I mean, as long as you're judging, judge yourself too.
For sure.
That's always my thing. Yeah.
What kind of church?
Pentecostal.
Yeah, they catch the Holy Ghost. Yeah. I mean, just
church, you got a prophecy. Yeah.
And God said that right.
Every ounce of it. Look, I left going to that church at 19 because of the judgy, because of that stuff. And then it became more, I started to I pray a lot. I prayed a lot then. I prayed double the amount now. And by prayer, I mean I will be in the corner talking to God, having a whole conversation out loud sometimes, and sometimes just sitting here talking in my spirit, talking in my head. And at that point, I think it was one little download that I got. They called it the downloads, but thought popped in my head there's all these religions. It's the people, and then there's God. The religions are a way to get to God. Got it. But he also said you can go right to him. And that's been a thought. So when people say oh, you wish, and I'm like, I'm spiritual. I talk to God frequently, and I came to it via Christianity, so I still observe some of the temples. I'm in Jesus' name, and Holy Spirit. These are my temples. But I also recognize that some people might do it through Islam, some people may do it through Judaism, some people may do it through Hindu and Sikh culture. There's Buddhism. There's other ways to get to God. It's not just your way, But so once I got that in the back of my head, I was like, let me see how this works out. And at every juncture of my life, it's been me and him, me and God, me and the Holy Spirit.
I like how you explain that.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, you ever been to a Pentecostal church in America? Mm-hmm. What was that like when you first witnessed that?
Flashbacks?
Right.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Same shit.
In the church, hey, watch your mouth. Get holy on.
But they say yeah, devil go to hell. I can't come back. Okay. It was a lot of the same things. It was a lot of we're the same people. We are the same. We have the same energy and observations. We just ping pong back and forth with the experience, it really is. Choirs, and of course, music was a thing for me. So I was in the children's choir, I was in the young adults choir, and then in the adults choir, double teaming because I'm a good alto. And there weren't enough of us. I think bring back the choirs, guys. But that's where I learned how to discipline my voice. If I'm listening to Jodeci and SWV and all of them, this was about just hearing what your voice sounded like and making it strong. And that's what that taught me.
At what age did you start getting paid to sing? Because that's a Pentecostal thing right there. They some finessers now. Don't matter if you a holy finesser or just a earthly finesser.
Well, I cannot say you are wrong. But I never sang in church for that. We never got paid to sing in church at all. It was just something you did because you was part of the church. Or my mom would be like, go, get up. There was no version of paying, you know.
But were you like the singer that everybody was like, and Estelle coming up here? We need a selection from the choir. Estelle, come on up here.
No, I was absolutely the opposite. I was the wallflower, but I knew everything. I knew all the parts. Yeah. So it was like, what's the note? It's this, it's this, it's this, it's this. You know, like, it was never a worry. Like that side of it. My friend Yannette could sing like her face off. And it didn't make no sense for how young she was and how blasé she was about it. She didn't know she could sing, if you know what I mean, but she knew she could sing. And then there's another guy called Andy. They're all gonna be like, what? Yannette and Andy were the singers. You know, he had a beautiful Tevin Campbell full cell.
Wow.
Like that. And we would all be like, and I'd be like, well, let's go. Come on, ladies. Alto crew, let's go. Like, let's go. But yeah, they were the ones for me. So I didn't know I could sing or I could do it in a way that people believed it was singing.
Yeah.
In my head till maybe 38. Until I was 38, a few years ago. I didn't look at it that way. I knew what I was doing. I just didn't think to myself, oh, you sound...
You've been in the game. Yeah, I'm not going for that because like you've been in the game long enough. Like, now this ain't no 2 or 3 year recovery. Like you've been a skillful singer for so long, and you don't have the success that you do have without somebody saying, "Oh, that girl can sing."
That's a thought, right? I don't hear that when I'm up there. I'm just analyzing myself. And people probably would have said it to me, like, you sounded great. And I'm just like, because I'm hearing my head in my voice. And my voice in my head, I'm like, I was wrong in that note, you know. And this was part of the recalibrating myself. Yeah. I would talk to myself crazy after a beautiful performance. Like, looking back on it, watching back videos, I was like, that shit was flawless. What did you tell you? Why would you tell yourself that? You know? Yeah. It took for me to get to 38, have a conversation with my mom about one time when I sang in front of her, and she laughed with my auntie. Well, to be fair, the toilet door was closed. I was in there like, let me just see if I can get this Mary J. Blige record off. I was like 12. Real Love or something, and they were like, why are you screaming? Stop screaming, and laughed. Because, I mean, to be fair,
but you
12.
were sensitive, though, too, because you was looking for validation.
Exactly.
Hit that subscribe button. Back to the show.
And it wasn't a real thought process in my mom's head that I needed to be validated.
Yeah.
Right? And it took for me being like 38, going to a therapist and her being like, you have to go work that out, by the way. Wow. And I was like, I'll get to it. So it's Easter Sunday or Easter weekend, and I'm trying to fry fish because I still observe certain things. Right. And the fish pot wouldn't stop bubbling over. It was like, call your mom. And I was like, I'll do it after I fry this fish. The fish pot, like literally the oil bubbled over. I was just like, all right, shit, I'm gonna call her. She's awake. And they live 10 hours ahead of us. So it's late at night. And my mom was just like, someone said you was gonna call. What's happening? I was like, this is when you know God was
intuition.
Like, God was like, clear this up. Yeah. And I sat down and she sat up in the bed, looked at me, and she was like, her and my dad, and they were listening. I have the type of parents that will like FaceTime you together. Or like voice note, you know, like you get on the phone with them and they're like, no, they'll be like, hey, what's happening? And you're on the speakerphone.
Daddy's here.
Yeah. Every time I'm never alone with my mom. It's my mom and my dad, speakerphone. We here. Yeah. So both of them were there listening and just looking. I said to her, you know that time when I was 12, because I felt like a whole punk being like, so this thing.
That 12-year-old version of yourself came out in the adult version of you know what I'm saying? Like it happens.
I needed to heal that. And the minute I said it to her, she's like, I apologize, but I thought you knew. And I was like, because I do know, right? And it was just like fireworks, like boom, 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 boom. So you never needed that. Stop putting yourself in a box. Sing, do your thing. You have a great voice. My mom was like, stop it now. It's okay. Go be. And it was like the first of a series of like her just being like, stop, like, we're not doing that shit no more. Stop covering yourself. And with that in mind, it took me to a space of like, stop being mean to yourself. Stop talking to yourself crazy. Stop giving your body reasons to fail you by telling your body it fails you. You know, tell your body it's brilliant. Tell your body it's incredible. Tell your mind you're so proud of it, you know? And speak nice to yourself. And that just shifted everything. So little moments.
That's love. Like, that just made me become a better parent.
Yeah.
Because, like, I have children, and it's a lot of different energies and personalities, and I love every single one of them. Yeah. But you don't know as a parent or as the validator of their life when it's like, Daddy, look. Good job. And then it's like they sense that as like, you just brushed me off, you know? And like, man, my lady always say like, man, no, give them your undivided attention.
Yeah.
And she says, be present. Those things, it's like even the moment that I had, even like last night, I was like, yo, I didn't spend my time with my children yet. Like they with me, but I'm not giving them me. Where it's like I'm the disciplinarian, but I'm also the cool dad. But they like my son. I see how my son look at me. I looked at how my son look at me is how I looked at my dad. Right. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was beautiful. Like he did his big one when he created me. I'm talking about from top to bottom. And there's a lot of things that I think back sometimes, but I do wish my dad just told me like, man, I love you, boy. In his own way. Like, my daddy ain't the one that, like, look at me. Like, we didn't have no John Q moments where it's like, It was more like, nah, let me tell you something, boy. It was that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. It was that, and that obedience to him. And even with my mom, which is the polar opposite, my mom, the sweetest person, just like, boy, come here. Let me, you know your teacher called me, right?
Nicely.
It was that balance, you know what I'm saying, going about it that...
But you needed it from both of them.
I appreciate you even sharing that, because that was something.
I would say this too. While I was giving my mom the blues, and I still give her the blues. Like, yo, remember when, you know you can't do that to the nieces and nephews now? Like, I still be like, don't do that. Remember when you did that to me, when we had that conversation? But they're doing the best with what they had. Like what they were given.
No, yeah, for sure.
That shit is a doozy to like think about. Like, oh my goodness, my parents were me.
Nah, see, I see the flip on that. Like,
okay,
I see a version of my dad that I never seen.
Wow.
Like the grandpapa.
Yeah.
I'm like, where was this when I needed?
He's learning from you.
Man, look.
He said, give me
Pop versus Papa.
Have you had that conversation with him?
Semi.
You should.
Where
Go
like
further.
my dad's the ultimate guy's guy. He's the ultimate do it yourselfer. He sees the invoices and, boy, you paid $1,700 just to change the oil. Yeah. Boy, give me that money. I'll go change the oil. Like, Pop, it's a German engineer.
I cannot do that.
Like, come on, you just can't just take a pair
take a wrench
wrenches.
and get to that.
Nah, you ain't gonna be able to get that. You gotta have a distinct piece that you can't get at AutoZone. See?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But I see him now, and I look at it from afar, and I see a version of him that's just so pure. And then, like, I see my kids and their cousins, which is my nieces and nephews. They all play. It's such a beautiful thing. Like Sunday dinner. And it's a multitude of them. It's a village coming up. You hear them coming from a mile away. Daddy, oh, Papa, Papa. And then they'll yank your shirt, and then they'll run, and then hear, and then you hear a whole, it's 17 of them, you know what I'm saying, that you just hear. It's like, bro, that's just the cutest thing to see him in that light. Because I didn't have that as a child. Nor I don't think that he was able to be that because there was so much pressure on him.
He's able to be that now.
Oh, man, for sure. So
And I know you have a dynamic with him already, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I think this, you know it. You can see it's available. Mm-hmm. There's nothing stopping it from happening for you. There's nothing. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that. If you know it's available to happen, and I know you already have a dynamic, but dynamics change every day.
Yeah.
You're still here. You're not gone anywhere yet. He's not gone anywhere yet. There's always a way.
Yeah, I want to be clear because I'm talking about the most influential person in my life. So there's no bitterness or resentment.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I say this as there's like we hold our parents in a certain regard.
That is a fact. Snapple fact.
Yeah, and if we move them out of that regard, then we're scared that maybe there might be a fear that maybe the relationship won't be what it was. Like, I can't have that and that, right? What do you need more of now?
No, see, I knew exactly what I wanted. And I told him, I don't think he was willing to receive it at that time because of his self-appointed desire of, I'm the matriarch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the person that's going to lead this family. But I'm like, Pop, you ain't led this family since, respectfully, because you need money to do that, right? And I'd never shunned him for that because I still go to him for counsel to this day. Yeah. What I was, in essence, trying to get through to my dad was, Pop, I don't need that version of you. Yeah. I want you to become the granddad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be the person that does go on vacation with us because for so long, it was such a thought of like, when we go on vacation, Pop staying back. He had to work.
Yeah.
And I ain't like, man, what Pop doing? But even for him, he was like, man, it ain't nothing for me to do. Yeah. I find peace in solitude. I find peace in just the routine. That's what gives me peace. And I'm like, Pop, man, when we go on vacations, bro, like you can fish. I don't fish. I stopped fishing because he took me fishing and I was sucking my thumb and he told me to pick up that catfish and I ain't looked at my thumb ever since. You know what I mean? But it's like, bro, we tried cayenne pepper, we tried duct tape, we tried hot sauce, we tried glue.
We did that to my sister too.
Everything. But that fish with the whiskers.
I'm not a fan of catfish. Whole sidebar. But yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
So, man.
My point is, I still feel like as long as you're alive, and even if you've had the conversation before, if it keeps coming back up, like for me with my mom and the 12-year-old moment, it's something that needs healing. So it's worth it to try. It's worth it to be like, I know, let me try a different way, or let me have a 5-minute conversation with you about this feeling. And we ain't gonna go past 5 minutes because I know you don't receive it well.
No, but check this out though. One thing I will say, since we're talking about it, I've seen a difference in her. Like I told him when I said, man, Pop, I don't need no business partner.
Right.
Man, I need a granddad. I need a father.
There you go.
That's what I need. Like I don't need you to be that. Like, and he's came around to becoming available.
Dope.
So
it's happening.
It is. God working.
Yeah. It's happening.
And he's still the preacher too, the bishop and all that.
Oh shit.
Father God in Jesus' name.
He's in the practice. It's still the practice.
Yeah. Turn into your books of Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
When you got to say amen. Amen. Okay.
You got to say amen. Wow. Well, I tell you everything the same wherever we go. Wherever we go, we are. Mm-hmm.
I love it, man. Like it's crazy because I have to remind the audience and even people even close to me. It's like, bro, I'm a church boy. It's like, bro, it's certain things that happen in church that,
What was a good memory for you from church? Like a really good, like, yo, I like going to church.
Man, we used to have tent revivals, right? Mm-hmm. But check this out, Lord Jesus. We had a tent revival. And somebody stole all our equipment.
How?
The locals.
Come on, man.
They went into we had like a U-Haul and they locked it up and we came back one day, like it was like a summer revival where we had church every single day. Mm-hmm. And every day, what was the caveat was every day was a different church who came and had church with us, you know, and if they wanted to come back, they could come back, but their preacher wouldn't, you know,
Preach, yeah, they would just be there.
So it was some good church, and it was like, you know,
Yeah.
we came back one day, it was like the door gate was open,
No
the
mics.
drums was going, there was a stick on the floor.
Did you play music?
I didn't. I was not musically gifted. My brother played the drums. You know, I would be
Church drumming.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would be hitting on a bongo,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, boom, 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 boom.
So you played something?
Yeah, a little bit. I was the active member.
Active member.
Like, you know, you
Talk to
start
me.
counting people, man, we got every bit of about 53 people here. Cam, where you going? 54. That's what you could get
I
from
was
me.
just part of the crew.
You know, I sang in the choir. It was
Yeah.
mandatory. I did not get paid. Didn't even look for a payment.
What is that?
I said, give
Yeah.
it to God.
Yeah.
And
Part of the family.
yeah, so somebody stole our stuff.
That's crazy.
And within 24 hours, we recouped all that.
Wow.
And that was nothing but God.
Somebody needed it. And God was like, don't worry, I got you.
Nah, it brought the community closer because it was such a intimate moment because the police wanted to press charges. My father would not allow that to happen. But and ultimately, it led to that person becoming a permanent member. And that was like, yo, this is what church was intended to be, you know. And you asked the young, it was a group of teenagers who did it. It was like, man, I just didn't like all that bamming that y'all was doing. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a fun joke to just take y'all stuff.
That's
Not
crazy.
what y'all gonna do.
Yeah.
But that was an outcry for a father figure, and he found that in my father. And a lot of those things kind of happen that way. And that's what I remember church to be, to impact lives, to really have outreach the way that Jesus did. And somehow or another, it's got skewed and it's got more about the money and the mega churches rather than the intimacy of knowing, you know what, Pastor, I need some prayer.
You know, I feel like, especially when we talk about it like that, I feel like they also all serve a purpose. You know, God is no respecter of persons. He'll use everything and everybody, even if we don't like it and we don't see it as that's the thing to do. Or, you know, I was thinking about it the other day, like, because people keep talking about this now. Like Peter was the gangster of the disciples.
No, for sure.
He's the one with the sword that cut off the ear, and he was around Jesus all the time. So I'm sure there were other disciples who thought, like, why would you have?
They all had a story. That's the thing.
And God did not. Jesus didn't mind. He still used every single. You know, he still was cool with hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like when it comes to that, you know what you're doing. You have your journey
Right.
with God. Make that make sense to you.
Right.
But don't be clear. This is a journey. This is for God, and He's going to use whatever you think you're doing for His glory every time.
This is my ministry.
Yeah.
And I try to do everything intentional for, like, God, I'm a vessel. I'm your clay. Shape and mold me how you want me to. I'm the instrument. Play me however you want to. Like, I'm curious, as an artist, growing up in church, why haven't you made gospel music?
Because I do it every time I get on stage. I'm a vessel.
Wow,
I
okay.
am. Look, Thank You is a gospel record to me for making me a woman.
Yeah.
You know, every time I get on stage and I sing, one, you know, it's the cliche thing for artists to walk out, but pray before they walk out. But it's a genuine prayer for me where I ask God to just use me. And I tell him, you know, I say, like, I'm a vessel. I thank God for the opportunity,
Right.
for the privilege of being able to get on anybody's stage and say, I'm going to go sing, rap, talk, and people are going to pay attention.
Right.
So I ask that He gives whoever needs joy for what we're doing, whoever needs peace, whoever needs a moment, whatever they need in the moment, I ask that He gives it to them via what we got going. And that's how I look at my service. That's how I look at it. And it's not just when I'm on stage, it's when I'm in interviews, it's when I'm walking down the street, go to do something else. People walk up on you every day. And it's not being on, it's being of service. You know? I look at it like I'm of service. And, and I'm respectful. I have my personal boundaries. Like I don't like to be touched like that, physically touched. It's a thing for me.
How do you control that?
I tell people.
And Pentecostal, because everything, so they just put their hand
whole well,
right
I haven't,
there.
Again, I haven't gone to a physical Pentecostal church like that consistently for like some years now. But I understand, and it's with my consent if that happens, right? But when you see people outside, sometimes I'm moved to be like, can I hold your hand when we talk? And other times I'm just like, thank you. Prayer hands, I'm grateful. But like I don't, I know that every single time if I'm stopped, it's on purpose. It's not because someone just wants to bother me or mess with my day or like, so I look at that as service, And again, if I'm tired and someone wants to take a picture, I'd be like, I look crazy to me right now. So I don't want to give you a really whack picture, but let's talk a little bit. You good? What's happening? Where you from? And I'll take the minute. And the idea is, well, think about this moment. You'll think and remember this moment more than you'll remember a really shit picture.
No, for sure.
Down the line. And I'll spend that time. And I get to do this. There's no given that anybody wants to hear me sing a thing. Period. I'm so grateful that I can, Yeah. And it's not because I have, this is self-worth speaking. I know what I'm walking with. I know what God has told me my purpose is. So I try to live in that more than the idea of, this is a certain, like, no, this is my prayer every day. This is my service every day. This is it. Yeah.
I could dig it. How did you make your transition to American music, not being from America?
Well, I got signed here. That was easy. That helped. I got signed to an American label, Atlantic in America.
Right.
And they put me on the road. Like, they were like, go and meet everybody. And when I tell you I met everybody, felt like a presidential campaign sometimes. I was shaking hands and kissing babies. It was a lot. I don't think I slept for the first 5 years of me being in the country. Like, it was real.
And your parents wasn't with you?
I was 27 when I came.
Okay.
So I was grown enough. But I, frequent visits, frequent back and forth. And also, it took some time, but I developed a good team of people.
Good nucleus.
Yeah, that would, and I keep my team small. I did it in London. I do it here. It's me, 2 managers, and maybe a publicist whenever we need one.
Yeah.
We're a small group and we think, we're smart about our moves. And I've learned I don't have it to like overextend myself or be a bad steward with all the gifts I've been given.
I could dig it.
So like having 11 people and being the person that's like physically wildly just like, oh, this is going to be a 11 people entourage coming with her. We know it. I cut that early. Maybe the first year that was happening for a while. And then after that, I was like, oh, we're good.
Now, educate me with, I read somewhere you were signed to John Legend's label.
That's how I got signed, yeah, to the U.S.
Okay.
I was signed to Homeschool. So it starts back in London. When I met John and Kanye, it was 2002 in L.A. I was working, I was doing all my own recording, I was independent, right? I moved to, he comes to visit, he comes over to do his touring. We done a record together on my very first album. He takes me everywhere. He goes on the road touring because we were building a rapport, like a musical relationship. And so he would have me out every show with him, like touring on doing stuff on the road, and I'd be paying for that. The label were like, sure, go ahead and sell this thing for us then. So came around time after we hit like 2 top 20 records, everything's going great. Came time for the next album and they were like, I was like, great, look, John Legend, I asked him to exec produce this with me to make a really good album. We do great music together. And they were like, who? And I said, please let me go from your label. I need to leave now. Right? So, because it was like, we just been, John at this point is graduated from John the Feature and whoever to John, who's a platinum selling artist and all over the world touring like crazy. And the A&R was like, who? Like real disrespectful.
Yeah.
I was like, let me go. You guys don't get it. I told John, I was like, well, I still want you to help me exec produce the album, but I'm not going to be there anymore. He was like, I'll sign you. And yeah, we'll get a bigger deal in the States. Come on. I was like, you sure? He was like, yeah. It's like, okay. It's just like that. And it took 3 years to get us off the label because negotiations and buyouts and blah, blah, blah. But that was it. Once we moved, I got to work like I was a brand new artist. It was everywhere. Go do radio, go do shows, go do road shows, go meet the people, go do every single thing, every interview, say hi to every editor, say hi to every PD, program director, like go and do it. And I didn't flinch, I did it. I was awake for 5 years.
Was the plan always, like when you leaned into music, what age were you? Like when you decided, hey, I think I'm a really take this music.
19. It was a pivotal moment. My mom and my stepdad broke up. I was part of the reasoning. I said to my mom, "You about to stay with this man for the rest of your life, or no?" Essentially, and she was like, "I see what you're saying." We were all growing up, moving out the house. He wasn't nice. And I said to her, "We're all growing up. I'm leaving the house. Like I can't stay here anymore. I don't like this man, and you're gonna be with him. This is it, And there was other things going on. So at that point, it was like, well, I have to actually get to this. I have to get this going because this is life now. This will get a job. And I put everything I had into mixtapes, videos. I put everything into it. I was flying wherever I needed to go. I was touring with every artist I could tour with in the UK. I was doing every show I could do. I wasn't sleeping then either. And I was getting to it. And at that point, it was just like, this is it. This is the thing I'm going to be. And maybe 2023, I released my album, my first album.
That's dopey.
Yeah.
I really want to get into, just the thought of the support that you had, right? Was your parents supportive of your dream and your desire?
My mom was. Yeah, very. And my dad, by proxy. I mean, when he got to know me, they had just gotten together and I had just released my album. Of course, we all live in London. It's not the biggest city, but it's not the smallest city either. But, so people know each other. And he knew that I was what I was doing in the world. And he plays drums and mad different instruments. Like my dad is a musician. And I don't play nothing. My dad is like, and I'm here like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess genetically from him, it's just me knowing it's drums. I know drums really well, right? I know rhythm really well. So my mom was just always like, look, have a backup. Have a backup. That was her consistent thing. Have a backup. Make sure you know what you're doing. And just in case, have a backup. So she was like, make sure you finish college. And that's our middle, high school, 16 to 18. Mm-hmm. That's our college, right? And university is your college, right? So for one of, 16 to 18 is your high school. So 18 to whatever is university for us.
Do y'all take me through the life cycle of schooling in London?
All right, 5 to 11 is primary school. 0 to 5 is preschool, I guess, or like Montessori or playgroup. 5 to 11 is primary school. 11 till 16 is secondary school. College between 16 and 18, and then whatever, or longer.
What's mandatory for children to get?
Primary to secondary.
So you don't have to go to college. Mm-mm. So after 16,
you could just go to work or sit, chill out, whatever you want to do. My mom was like, go do something else though. Like we can't just have you. I was never the irresponsible child.
Yeah.
Being the oldest girl, second parent, second mom. So, but she was very much like, please. And so I went to college and I got a journalism, GMBQ. I studied all things journalism and music, like around entertainment. So I would know that if music wasn't my thing, I could be on TV interviewing something, right? Or I could do the Estelle Show.
Man, and that's a perfect
Great segue.
It's like, yo, that's dope. Because I'm over here looking at like, the Estelle Show, and I'm doing my research, and I'm like, bro, you're on like episode close to 1,000 now.
We're over 1,000 episodes. It's crazy.
It's like over 1,000.
Mm-hmm. We only started 4 years ago.
Which is me knowing how that works.
Yeah.
Radio, podcast is pretty much the same thing. It's just visual now. And I'm saying to myself, well, how did that happen? And now you talk about, you know, your journalism background.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
And also I feel like your life will leave you breadcrumbs. Like, just follow. Like, that was something I did. Radio was something I did between studying it and doing the night shift on Choice FM, which is a radio station back at home with DJ back in the day. I was like, at some point I'm gonna touch back radio, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. But music is my love, my heart, my part of my purpose.
For sure.
You know? But that the Estelle Show came about because me and my manager were having a big old argument in the studio, as we always do. You know, musicians, I'm sure you have the same thing with players where you're like, nah, them stats weren't that.
It's a debate, not an argument.
It's a debate. Okay, I like that.
There you go.
We're having a debate about like iconoclast, like who is this version of this person in today's world? Like, who is this version of Shabba? Who is this version of Sean Paul? Who is this version of... And I mean, it was going, because I know reggae music more than he does, and we were just going back and forth. And our friends in the studio were like, you need a radio show. You need a podcast. You need a outlet, because this is entertaining as fuck. And I was like, Wild thing is, maybe 2 or 3 years before, we had reached out to Apple to do a radio show based around reggae music and dancehall and soca, because I would do it at my shows and find the diaspora. Every single time I would pop out to do a show, I have the section where I do carnival, right? Like, and if you know people from the West Indies, right?
Yeah, it's a whole movement.
It's not a game. And I would find people from the diaspora in the audience like, oh, so this is where you guys are. Like, oh, you didn't think I knew? So that was my thing. And at the time they couldn't do it. Maybe 2018, again, we came back around. We're like, we want to do this kind of show. And they were like, well, yeah, you could, but you also want to do a radio show like 5 days a week? I was like, 5 days of this? What? Absolutely. What? For sure, yeah.
You started off on a 5-piece.
I was ready for it, because it's all preparation, you know? Like, you line up, you know, you put it in the air.
Yeah. You
prepare yourself for it, and then God says like, okay, now you're ready to go.
Now tell me this. How were you able to really distinct the difference between Estelle, the artist, versus Estelle, the talent for the Estelle Show?
Well, one goes on stage and sings, and the other one is genuinely interested in the conversation and the music. I'm just giving you stuff when I'm up there. I'm absorbing a little bit, but I'm not allowing you to talk back to me, right? When I'm on stage. When I'm in front of you, you could debate me down about who you think is so-and-so and this, that, and the rest. And you could tell me all of your tempos and why they're your tempos. Yeah. And the space is there, you know? Right. And also I get to celebrate the idols, the people that, man, I get to talk to Al Green. I get to talk to Eddie, you know, like, I get to talk to Eddie LeBert. I get to talk to who, at a show, they may or may not come to my show.
For sure.
I'll be lucky if they turn up. It's late,
no, now,
you know? But I get to talk to them and find out and listen and absorb, and it makes me better at being an artist.
For sure.
You know, and then I get to talk to younger artists who are living this version of life. And I'm putting out new music, and I get to get out of my way and listen to what they got to say. You know? It just makes me a better artist. Yeah.
Man, has any interview impacted you more than the other one? Or if you would say, what's your favorite, dare I say favorite, because you have such a large catalog, but which one that you could think of impacted you the most?
Oh my goodness. It's tough. That's a tough question.
Like, is there something that you go into, like...
Yes. And, well, 2, all right?
Okay.
One was Al Green.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because, like, what are we talking about? It's Al Green. Like, that's... Go look at old videos of Al Green. Read his story. And then, like, I ask myself, why is this man talking to me? Why did he say, yes, I'll speak to you? You know? There wasn't even an ego boost. It was like, there must be something I'm supposed to hear or learn from this. So let me hear and learn from this man. And he gave me a beautiful interview and a birthday shout out. And I felt like my mouth was my ears, like my smile was to my ears. I was like, the Al Green. I've heard this man my whole life. So it was just like a stamp and honor. First of all, like you're pointing in the right direction, and still keep going for me with him. And then another person was Life Jennings.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to expect with Life. And he walked in with such a clear vision for what he had going on. And he was lovely. He was just lovely. You know, he overserved. He's been doing this for longer than I've been doing this in the United States. And he came in and I said, would you sing a little bit, you know, on video? And he gave me a whole verse and a chorus and he overserved in a way that artists normally are just like, ugh, I gotta sing, okay. You know, which is understandable.
Right.
I'll be tired sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
And he came in and just gave. And I was genuinely like, you want to be like that. Like that spirit, that energy of like, I'm here to serve. I'm here to give you whatever you need.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like as you was talking, I'm asking myself, really like.
What about you? Who changed your? Because you've done some really good interviews. You've had some really good guests. Who's changed your perspective?
Change my perspective? That's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Man.
Or should I say, who's affected the way that you now live your life in general?
You know, there's certain things, there's certain guests that you have on that it generates a different audience. Mm-hmm. And now those viral moments now make people curious of like, yo, like let me look at more of what he's talking about. There's certain things that people will say that I even go back and listen to. It's like, oh man, she snapped with that one. Yeah. Or, you know, I never thought about it through that lens. But I think my biggest thing that I try to get from each guest and the audience is I just want to provoke thought.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with me or not, I want to give you a different perspective. Because I genuinely, and I'm with you, 1,000% about like it's just preparing you. I've always enjoyed talking to people.
Yeah.
You know, somebody asked me, you know, what's your biggest gift? And naturally, somebody would think like, yo, football is. It's like, no, my greatest gift, I believe, is I've never met a stranger. Like, man, you give me a cigar, you know, depending on what time it is, glass of vino, like, let's chat. Like, what's your common interest? Like, these interviews are therapeutic for me because even your spirit is just so calming. It's like you just whispering. I really just wish you was at the airport and you just people watching. And, like, I'm the type of person to try to get the toxic out of person, the calm. Yeah. But then when it's a toxic person, I'm trying to humanize them in ways. Now, there's been the Charleston Whites of the world that it was a cultural phenomenon, you know, and it challenges you because it's like, yo, I see through what the world sees, and it's like, oh, bro, you are a real activist, though, like for the culture. And you really challenge the culture in a very unconventional way, but you know you're really calling Black people hypocrites, and you're pro-Black, right? Yeah. And that's one of the things that I saw. Then you have other conversations from different people, artists, entertainers, and it's like, wow, like I see why you're where you are. Yeah. But you know, all in all, even through this journey with not cursing, it's like I still can create great content by not doing it. But the challenge now becomes is how can I dive deep into that person's life and ask the right question? Because there's no greater fail, especially in interviewing, than having a person
in front of your face
that you don't ask the question.
Down.
You know what I'm saying? Or in this space, you already know they may come with restrictions of court, and it's like it's not worth it. Yeah. It's not worth it to me. Yeah. It's like, yo, there's an allegiance to my platform that people are coming
to see something
or extract.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking to, you know, the person,
like get the information.
I need to ask the question now. Like that's my restitution to you know, my platform. But it's those type of things though. Yeah. And I see a version of myself that didn't exist when I first started. Because contrary to belief, this started in the back of a car.
What?
No, for sure.
Huh.
And there was this buzz of podcast. And I was the only guest that I would have, and I would just talk about, and I would just try to give life lessons about
But you knew.
And I knew I wanted to talk. And even that church boy was the guy that could not get embarrassed. You know, it's roses are red, violets are blue. You know, Jesus likes me, but he also loves you too. Easter, like I was the dude that was that. You know what I mean? Like you put Cam up there, he'll say something crazy, and that was who it was. And it wasn't that I wanted the attention more so. I was just so curious to information.
Yeah.
And then it was like, how can I find out? Man, just ask the question. Hey, man, did you get beat up or not? Like, no matter what it was. And I channeled that in interviewing form. And now that's what Funky Friday is today.
See, he's following your light, man.
Yeah.
It's the breadcrumbs.
The crumbs.
You see it? Yeah.
I really want to ask this one. So as you was talking to Al Green, like one of the questions that I thought about was like, what type of music has shaped your life?
Oh.
When you kind of think back of who you are today and what form of yourself was in the past, and it's like, yo, as you pursued this, like what was it that impacted you the most?
Man, I've made a conscious decision to stay open to music, stay being a fan. Like I listen to it more than I play it sometimes, than I go create it sometimes. And even more now because of the show. Like I'm a little bit more measured with creating it. But bass lines, reggae music, church music, gospel, jazz music,
Okay.
and soul, 80s soul, R&B, funk, 70s. Like those have me in a consistent chokehold, have done my whole life in various points and moments.
Right.
I use and utilize other genres. I utilize pop. I'll utilize blues.
Right.
I'll utilize like different elements from different rock music. I utilize it all, and I put it in my shows sometimes more than I put it on the record. Mm-hmm. But I use it all, you know. But for me, the bass, if I don't hear it, if I hear that, and you're anywhere around me at any time, just know I'm over there skanking. It's not I'm over there like, wait, who wait, what's
skanking?
Yeah, it's a little dance. It's about, that's it. It's just a little dance.
That's grooving. You know what I mean? Like you got.
We're the same.
Okay.
Translations, right? Like that's a little. I'm over there finding myself dancing someplace. If I hear a bass line, a reggae bass line, I know that's like a childhood happy place memory for me, right? That's the thing for me in every one of my songs. I have real issues with engineers and producers who always want to take the bass out of records. I'm just like, what's wrong with you people? Like, who are you all?
It hit different.
It's just, that's the through line. It's almost like a bass line can be a drum, an acoustic thing. A bass line will get you through the whole record. I can go out and sing American Boy with just my bassist and people know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Because that has a distinct bass line, and even if it didn't, right, exactly, you know it, and you feel that it's an innate thing, it's a motherland thing for one of.
Man, listen, we was playing it, and I said like, yo, it's giving brunch.
You know what's crazy? As you said that, I was like, you know, you're right, because the people who feel this,
I can just see myself just like jugging at the table, like.
But when it came out, it was in the clubs, and we was in the clubs when it came out. Yeah. And now we're at brunch, and like it's sophisticated, it's sexy.
For sure.
And now people do brunch to it. So that's the feeling. I wanted records that make lifestyle feel good, that make your life feel good. You know, that's how I make my records. I want you to feel it through any point in your life. For sure. Yeah, I don't like make subjective records for that moment. I want it to feel good throughout your life, your kids' lives, your kids, like how Luther Vandross feels good throughout our lives, right? Like how, back to like the old jazz records, they all feel good when you hear them now. You know, like they may be like, oh, this old timey, but you're gonna know You're gonna do this when you hear Ella Fitzgerald sing.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that when you hear a Count Basie version of Events. We've sampled these records. We've replayed them. Those are the records. That's where I go for. And so I choose things that feel like they're in here in us already, you know? I choose beats. I choose producers that know what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go real quick to, just, is it a podcast or?
Radio show.
Radio show.
Yeah, it's a radio show, but,
Yeah. What's been the biggest challenge in regards to that, though?
Honestly, there's not one.
Does Apple assist with talent?
With production and talent, and we also have a vast personal network of people, and it's not just musicians. It's people that do. I could have you on the show, because I know you know music, and that's what we're going to talk about. It's like, what's your top 10 records that made you feel, made you grow? Like, you should come on the show. I'm asking
it's done.
Yeah, okay, cool. But like, that's the kind of thing. We want to know what makes people tick and what makes people who do an exemplary thing, what music, because that's what it is. It's megahertz, it's energy, it's just moving frequencies. What makes you tick? How do you get to this point? What are the ones that put you here?
Is it a studio show or is it
It's both. Yeah, sometimes I record at home. Sometimes I'm in the studio. Most times I'm in the studio now, because the pandemic's over.
Yeah.
But we started in August 2020 live, and that was an adjustment. Like getting used to people being like, "Oh, she's doing this now," and is she doing music anymore? I was like, "Yeah, I can do both things. We can expand. It's called this. It's called this. Yeah."
It's more like there's so much of me that is just pigeonholed to sport. And I'm like, I
disagree because look, we're here now. And people
but it's the thing of there's a lot of that comes by way of being a sports figure.
Yeah, same with music.
But the bad thing about it is like nobody else cares about the other things.
Well, you care.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's like I really love art. Yeah. I really love fashion. I really love just poetry and music. I love fitness. And it's hard to kind of get that through people because at the end of the day, they just like, bro, just play football. Like,
well, that's where they met you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You're allowed to say that. But also, where I'm at and where I'm going is not dictated by anybody. So I don't resent it. I look at it like I'm so glad that my music brings you joy, and I'll continue to do music as long as I want to, as long as God tells me He has words for me and melodies for me. And in addition to that, I'm gonna flex all these other things He gave me too, and we'll be okay. Our days will continue, life will be beautiful. Your children will grow, so will mine. Like these things will be perfect. Like it's not that deep. Enjoy it or don't. You have something, either way. All love. Yeah.
I want to read you something that was quoted by you in an interview I watched you say, "You don't know Ye, you know Kanye."
It's true.
What's the difference?
Well, I met him as Kanye. I haven't seen him in some years, so I don't know this version of him. I don't. Like, that's a smooth... I hadn't seen him in over 10 years. Wow. So it's not like I've sat down and had a conversation and been like, I know this guy. I genuinely don't, And I always, when people ask me about him, I'm always just like, that's weird. Not to say you're being weird, but it's true. It's like, that man has a mouth for himself, and you ought to ask him how he feels about himself. I don't know the man that we're all looking at right now. And I said this yesterday, he's on his journey. He was on his journey before he met me.
Right.
He's going to be on it way after, or any opinion that goes up or down about him.
Correct.
I'm on mine. I was on it before I met him. It's robust, it's beautiful, it's wise, it's gorgeous. And I'm on my journey too.
But what can you say in regards to working with
at the time?
Like Kanye.
Oh, it was fun. He was a true Gemini at the time. Like very clear about his designs on music, and he was very he was meticulous about it, Like there would be a record that we'd all be listening to. And I would, he came to my session and we did the American Boy, but I was in other sessions he was in. It was interesting to me to watch him be in a room having a whole conversation with people, like talking and whopping, and the record's playing, and then he's gone in there and flipped the entire thing, or he's like, yeah, take that. So it was just a masterclass in the genius of knowing your music or knowing how to freak music in a specific way. And then it goes on to like be the platinum hit from some artist. And you're like, damn, that's the one he was working. Oh, that's crazy. You know? I just looked at it all like learning. I'm just here to learn. I'm just here to absorb and see how I can be a better musician. And arguably I am partly because of some of those experiences.
Yeah, some of those experiences. I would love to witness a creative process for an artist, right? It's like, even for you, where do you go to draw inspiration?
Again, to God.
Yeah.
It's a prayer. I get out the way as much as I can. I am a good smoke some weed, get up and don't overthink life this week. Whatever I'm doing that sits my ego out the way, whether it's like, oh, I'm gonna drink some wine, I need to feel a little bit loose, or you know what, I've been busting my, and I'll be like, God, I need a break. I'm gonna take this break and go on holiday, right? I'm gonna drink all the rum punch and be in Jamaica. And as I get out the way, here come a melody. La 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 la, put a melody in, continue with my holiday, come back, producers in this, I'll go in with Keith or whoever, and oh, that melody I had. And then it would just pour out of me from there. I look at it like you draw an outline, and then you color in the outline.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's at this point it takes me 4 hours. I don't like to be more than 4 hours in the studio. That's gonna wreck the record. It's just a lot of overthinking. So that's my personal general process. I get out of the way. I pray, I ask, and I get out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like any challenges of creating.
Yeah, people being in the way. That's
like
a challenge.
Energy of actual people, or just the emotions of
being in the way. People, yourself, physical things.
Yeah.
That can throw shit left or right.
Do you set a vibe? Like, what's your vibe setting? Like, is it an incense? Is it a candle? Is it wine? Is it dim lights? Is it bright lights? Is it colors? Is it plants?
It is a prayer and maybe some Palo Santo, and I'm good wherever we go. I just don't want 11 people in the room, because I feel like this is a human thing, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a singer, an artist or not. The minute you start being an artist or singing the melody, people jump in and start going, singing along to it, and you're like, shut up. I can't, I'm trying to listen and I can't hear. Yeah. So I just clear the room to like advance that, more than anything else.
Any time in your career that you felt unappreciated?
I think it was before I moved to the US. At the time, I had done, again, so much for everything and everyone else.
Right.
Not thinking that maybe this was performative. Some of it was performative and ego-driven, right? And I would do stuff in the UK where every single single had a version of it that had the whole crew in it. Like, everyone from the scene was in videos, And by the time I got into the end of that stretch, or that part of my career in the UK, it was like, well, how come I don't get the looks that so-and-so and so-and-so, and why don't nobody ever call me, and why am I not regarded as... And then I had to let all of that go, because it's ego and expectation. I had to let it go, especially moving to the US, because I had to start again. And so it was like, well, girl, you can't carry all that baggage of, do you know who I am? Into a scenario where people do not know who you are, and you have to go tell them.
Nor care.
Nor care. Nor care is the part.
No, like, wait, who?
So it reminded me, every time I start a new industry or I start a new thing or a new album, I'm reminded, these people probably don't know me today, and I don't know me today because I've never been me at this day, in this age, in this era. So let me humble myself and reintroduce myself to myself and everybody else.
I need to take that advice.
It's real. You've never been you at this age, and you will never be you at the age you are tomorrow. It's a brand new you every day.
Any artist or person that you've wanted to work with that you haven't up until this point?
Mary J. Blige every time. I love her. I love her. She's my favorite.
You've never met Mary J?
I've met her. I've never worked with her.
Okay. Take me through a process of how does that happen to you? Is it the manager? Is it like, yo, like, let's do a session?
It's with artists of that caliber, our living legends. It's the management, the teams, the one, but also the artist has to want to.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly can't speak to where Mary is in her personal career in her life, and so I've never want to be like, well, I think wherever Mary is, whenever she's ready, if she's ever ready, and if she's not, that's also okay. You know. But I would love to. That'd be so good.
What?
That'd be so fun. I think it'd be fun.
She's like a unicorn.
She is. She's by her. She does what she wants. That's the goal. I do what I want. Now I do what I want. In the words of Uzi Vert.
Talk to me about acting.
It's fun. It's fun.
What? So listen. This person who we thought came on the scene was one way.
Yeah.
We've talked about multiple different versions of you.
Yeah.
And here you are, or have shown different palettes of how you want people to process you. How did that come about?
Acting, people kept asking me to play myself in certain things. And then I think when I would get on stage, back then it was I'd have to put on a persona because I wasn't confident as I thought I was.
Correct.
But now it's more like people are seeing my true personality, and I talk a lot of shit to the people. They talk a little bit back. It's fun. It's banter. But now they're seeing that, so the roles I'm getting called for, the voiceover characters I'm getting called for, things like that are substantial. They're like with some meaning behind it. And also I think it's a weird. People really think I look like I looked at 27. So I was getting called for roles based on my personality, but I look too young for the roles, right?
Wow.
It was like, you're grown. Like, she can pull up grown. And I was like, pulled up looking like I'm 12. I was like, I cannot pull this. And then I see who would get the role, and I was like, why would they call me?
Yes.
This is not for me. But now it's more like, this is good. This feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The roles are coming in.
Now, in preparation for every guest, the toxic in me and my team is...
Let me drink some water.
Please.
Okay.
You're going to need it. That was a joke. But just trying to identify the dating. Are you dating now?
I am. It's a fun time out here. No, I'm dating.
Where's the crumpets? Where is the tea?
But here's my thing. I'm 45. What I look like, my personal preference. Yeah, thank you. My personal preference.
Black, no crack. I'm trying to tell you that.
Okay, I'll take that.
What?
Yeah, I'm grown.
You look good, girl.
Thank you. I feel good. I should. The growner we get, we now have money and can keep up. And also we don't crack. It don't crack. It really don't crack. I'm grateful for that. My mom and my dad look young too, so thank you, God. But I'm also very much like, again, the person I am is very clear that I do this. So I would hate for somebody that I'm dating to be thrust into the spotlight the moment, to be judged, to be, because then it takes away from our personal connection.
Yeah. Help me, please, by protecting your private life. Because like I said, I've been doing that. I said, who is, hey Siri, who is Estelle dating?
Nobody.
And then Estelle, the music singer, known at, is, you don't see it.
No, and I've kept it like that my whole life.
Wow.
I'm just quiet. I don't, because it's not their life. It's not that person's life. It's not like, I just feel like he's not, and then also I've dated men before who want to be in it, and I question your motive. And so once I get a whiff of that, I'm straight. I'm good. Thank you. I think we're done here.
Shoe fly
I think we're done here. I think we're done. Thank you for helping me close this cycle. And that's a real thing. Like, you realize the people that you attract into your life, like, what do you want them for? And I have no judgments on anybody's stuff. however, whatever. You can't help it if you're famous and they're famous, and or they're known and you're known. You can't help it. But I've dated men where it was like, I just want to be seen outside with you, and you could see it creeping up. And I was just like, no. We don't even know what we're doing yet. How am I going to be outside letting everybody and their auntie have an opinion? And I've seen you twice in life, you know? I refuse that. Like, you know, as much as I protect my family, I protect myself, you know? And it's not a scared protection. It's like here's this light. Don't cross this boundary.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Do you think it's harder to date as a successful woman versus dating as a successful man?
Well, social norms will tell you that it is. I don't think it's harder. I'm talking to human. Mm-hmm. People are going to be people. And I think that what you attract is as evolved as you are. So if that's what you're giving out and that's what you're bringing in, that's what that is. Yeah. And there's not, again, my thing is like, I hate to put on one or the other, because everybody's journey and everyone's personal is their personal, right?
For sure.
Some things work for people. Some of that works for people. I just, I like to do a lot of work on myself and be careful about what I'm bringing to myself, to my body, to my energy space, to my team, to this thing that I've worked so hard for on one hand, but also to my life. Right. I don't get these days back. So if you're in my life, it means you're in my life. You know, and I'm a girlfriend. Yeah. You know. Would you
say you're intimidating?
No. The men aren't intimidated. I mean, the men that I attract aren't intimidated. The men that would like to, but they know they're not attracted. They know we don't have a shot. Fair, whatever.
Stay over there.
You know, it's good.
Respectfully.
Thank you so much for the compliments, babies. I can do nothing for you, but it's nice to be loved. You know, it's nice to be loved. I really mean that. I take all the compliments, but I never ever want people to feel like when they're around me, I don't want a guy who's like, that's weird.
The fan.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. But they might not even be a fan. They may just be like, she's a lot.
Yeah.
She's confident. She really knows herself, or she's trying.
I'm always interested to identify for women's sake. Have you ever came on to a guy or?
I'm harder the dudes. Yeah, definitely harder the guys. It's just weird.
You see a drink? What's the innuendo? Like, what's the cues? What's the?
I've sent a drink. I have been like, I'm gonna sit here in your face and really talk to you.
Not the twirl.
Not
the twirl. Like,
hi. I'm like, you know women know what we're working with, right? Up to a certain age, you know what we're working with to a degree. I've absolutely come like hollered at dudes, but I'm also the girl that's like, if a guy's hollering at me sometimes, I'm like completely oblivious. I used to be wildly like, oh, he likes me. Oh, okay. Oh, I should okay. And my friends would be like, bitch, if you don't, the fuck's wrong? Like, you know that. And I meet people and I'm like, hi, how are you? How you doing today?
That's you playing man to man. See, there you go.
And I'm very much like this, where people don't expect an artist or a person to genuinely want to be like, hi, how are you today? Like, yeah. And some people take that as, oh, she's flirting with me. And I'm like, oh, I was not flirting with you. I was just being genuinely, nice and kind in a way that you may not expect it from a woman, or your perception of life means that that's a woman's coming onto you. And my perception of life, I'm just being present with you in the moment, in general.
But I hear this a lot from men and women who are not from America, where there's a difference in the dating expectations, or how they come on is different in London or Paris or America or Africa.
Yeah.
Like,
say it again.
Is it?
How's it go?
Africa.
Okay.
You're
hilarious, low-key.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm working on myself. I'm a constant work in progress. So just pray for me. Don't talk about it. Just pray for me.
I love it.
Is that true? And if it is, why?
It's just how you grow up, I think. in different areas. I think it's generational. I'll say that. It's how you grow up, where you grow up. It's generational, it's geographical, it's all of that. People in London, it's cold. I like to use this as a general excuse. It's cold outside a lot. Oh, we don't really like to date. Like, let's go and do these things outside. It's like, you come into the house. Like, you came to my house. So it's the date, you know, especially when I was younger. Right? I mean, not so much, not generally.
Yeah.
It's generally not like, you know.
I'm here with you.
You know, and I think every culture has this version of like, you come into the house.
Yeah.
Here it might be like, we're going to, it was a big beef, the Cheesecake Factory. I don't want to take me to the Cheesecake.
I love it.
You know, whatever. Are you taking me to whatever restaurant, Nobu, whoever, you come into the house, you know?
For sure.
I think every culture, every country has this version of that, and we give it, it's way too much attention. The point is you want to be seen and see each other, you know?
Now, we have identified that you have a skill in cooking. How soon is that trade unlocked in a relationship?
It used to be almost immediately, and now I need some time on this. I need to see, yeah.
So you usually just literally Americanized. You come into the house, they come to the house, you cook.
So again, to my whole thing, if I'm fresh off the boat, it would be like, let's just have a group thing. Everyone come around to the house, and I'm a cook.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
So we had friends and vibes things, and he would come around, and so he's had my cooking.
But he can analyze. It's like the combine.
It's like you can see.
Yeah, y'all scouting them out.
Right, a little bit. You can see what I'm working with because you know, the vibe is vibey. And the older I've gotten, you know, it's not so much like the gang of friends and whatnot. So now I'm like, I'm not cooking for you the first week out, cut out. Like, stop it, you know? That's not a thing I do to loop you in. I'm trying to see what your spirit, your heart, your soul, your energy's like, how you treat your family and friends. Do you cook? You know? I want to be on levels with you before we even get to that part. Because I'm looking at life now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at down the line. I'm like, I'm not going to be the only one in the kitchen. You're crazy.
Yeah.
I have no desire to be that. You know, I want to be in it, but I refuse to just be that, you know? So I take time. What? What's happening?
3 minutes.
Why are you?
It's been a lot of.
This is my thing. You feel something?
No, I'm just saying, like, this is.
You feel it?
It's a lot of hand.
Oh.
These last 3 minutes, you like.
Well, you asking me my business?
No, for sure.
I'm joking, but go ahead.
For sure, I like
yeah.
it.
It's you feel me? No.
Cause I ain't in
Cause we have more in common than we do not. No, we do. It's a real. I'm very clear about certain things when it comes to dating. Like that's a very. I had to get there.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't focused on that early, and I've been focused on it. Like clear about my interactions, even in just general relationships.
Yeah.
Like I'm clear about how I interact with people, clear about how my friends are. I'm clear about what I give and what I expect to receive back. You know, I'm clear about whether I'm just giving to give. And it goes across all relationships. So, especially with that, this is your body in your home, and I like my body in my home, and I don't want to just have everyone have access to it. So I'm
That's a fact.
Very, okay, sir. Yeah, like.
Now you say dating, that's dating a person or?
Person.
Say less. How did it
happen? Just over time. Over time.
What's a non-negotiable for you? Like you get like set the tone, and this is not a verbalized non-negotiable. If you see it, like fanboy, like
fanboy would be one of them. I stay away from that at this point. I could boop boop. There we go.
Yeah.
Straight.
I'm good. Check, please.
This was not for me. You were not for me. Mm-hmm. You were for somebody else. This is not for me. And I don't hate you, but you were not for me. I think a non-negotiable is not actually growing. Like if I see somebody repeating the same patterns, not even trying to evolve a bit, because this is what I'm doing. So I don't believe I'm supposed to be matched with somebody who's just stagnant in their life and who's just doing enough to make it seem like they evolve and they being a good man. And I look at you and I'm like, same place you was last year, huh? And I say this like as a general, because God could have you in a holding place for more than a year. But if you're actively not trying, that's a different thing. And it's like, I enjoy this. And I have zero desires to be a better human, even though this is hurting me. I'm going to keep this hurt going.
Yeah.
I don't have to stay in that place with you. You know, I ain't Viola Davis and Denzel and was it Fences?
Fences, yeah.
I ain't doing that. Yeah. That's crazy. Like,
madness.
It's madness. Like, think about that.
This man's gone mad.
This man's gone nuts. He's lost his mind. Okay? But we have all these movies and films, and they are true life things. It's jokes, but it's true.
Yeah.
Our parents went through that.
Right.
Our grandmas went through that. Our grandfathers went through that. Do we have to? I refuse. You know? Okay,
so we had this segment called Question of the Day.
Yeah.
Right? And it is something that requires more than one word answers.
Okay.
And it could be a typical question that provokes thought that anybody can use and ask. My question of the day is, how soon?
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Be.
He turned around like, how soon?
How comfortable does a person have to be with you to get posted on your social media?
I've learned my lessons, so when we're married.
What?
Yep.
God almighty. So you're not posting another guy on your
I'm
social
probably not even there and shit. I don't know. That might be if we do it with a magazine or not. But probably not, no. I learned my lesson, shit.
What you learned?
I learned that even if you don't, some of the one of the experiences I went through is like, even if that wasn't the original intent to be the person that is with Estelle or with the person or whoever the person is, life and the way that people view the scenario can trick your shit severely, and you don't even know it's being tricked. Like, it's just now you're dealing with this extra opening of energy that's just surged in, and you're like, how am I fighting with you about what the fuck, and why does this person call me and tell me this, and you know, and it's just like, I want for us to be solid, clear and committed, and no matter what, I know that I can trust you in all these scenarios. Being online ain't gonna fuck with what we got, you know? So I look at people who've done that, and I'm like, that's a good time. Issa Rae, Kerry Washington. I'm like, this is what I pop out with a 3-year-old and a wedding ring. Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah,
I can dig it.
Yeah,
let's get into our game.
Okay,
here it goes. Now, this game is called American Boy versus.
Oh shit! Another sip.
British and London Boy. All right, I'm gonna give you. Game is simple. I'm gonna give you an American boy versus a
British London boy. All right.
British boy. And you say either or.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Morris Chestnut or Idris Elba.
All right. And this is another whole discussion I have with my team. It's gonna be Morris Chestnut for me. Yeah, it's big fine. Shout out to his wife. Big fine. Ricky was my first visual version of Morris Chestnut. And it's Boys in the Hood, right? And then skip to The Best Man. And that scene when he walked through, Tim, Lance, Daniel, that walked through the door. Daniel, what was it? I don't know. See, look, they get it.
I'm with you, and we have people in the back. That's the crew, and that's coming up too.
But wait, and let me explain why I know Idris. I've known Idris, and it's like I know him, and I guess it's the whole idea of like, you know, like it's Morris Chestnut.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I've known Idris for a while, and also it's like it's in the club, we all fam. Like it's a different thing. Like
I could dig it. I respect that.
Yeah.
Omar Epps or Daniel Kaluuya.
Here y'all go again. Okay, this is showing my whole age. It's Omar Epps. Again, Daniel Kaluuya, one of my I look at him like little bro. A little bit.
Wow.
He's great. He's a brilliant actor, and I think he's amazing. But also, Yeah, little bro, a little bit.
Say less. All right. Michael B. Jordan or
Who gave him this question?
Damson Idris.
Who gave him this question?
I got him.
Oh,
I know.
This is terrible. This is terrible. Oh, it's Michael B. Jordan.
Boy, American Boys is really doing the thizzle.
Now, I give a good close second to Damson Idris, but also Lil Bro. Like,
for
I
real?
met them, and I'm just like, oh, they genuinely look like my little brothers, and so it's like all that dries up. It's a wrap.
I get that.
So that's why.
Michael Ealy or Aaron Pierre?
Oh God, it's the light eyes and the light skin.
I'm just trying to put it American boy versus a British boy.
Oh, they both look so good. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is hard. All right. Oh, this is tough. Oh gosh. I'm trying to deflect here, guys. I just this is tough. I mean,
No,
Michael Ealy. He's like the bro too. It's just strange. I don't know.
Michael Ealy.
I'm gonna say Michael Ealy. Aaron Pierre is gorgeous too, though. He's a beautiful man. Yeah, it's a good time.
City Boys.
See you boys.
We're up.
He said,
Marlon Wayans or
what?
Daniel Ezra?
Daniel Ezra.
No!
Daniel Ezra, he's a what's he hold on a second. Fuck, I'm not good at scary films. I say scary, I mean like people get shot in them. I don't really watch those movies, but he's also young and British, and it's that weird little brother thing for me with all of them. I'm just like, you're really good looking, but also little bro.
I get you.
Yeah, it's scary.
Understood. Now, last but not least, LL Cool J or Nicholas Pinnock?
Nicholas, that's weird. That's a LL Cool J.
Taylor.
Yeah, right.
American Boys.
He said they up. Hey, you asked me about people who
won the
arguably
Olympics.
are fam. Like I know them. All of the sexuality gets cut right out as soon as I look at you and think to myself, I know you. I know your family. I can know you. It's a bit like.
So at this particular point in time, we will have questions from the crew, and your crew can ask me a question, your crew can ask you a question, my crew can ask me a question, my crew can ask you a question.
Okay.
This is an inclusive segment that we like to have a lot of people kind of chime in.
Okay.
And just brings a different type of
Tone to it.
energy and fold to it. So,
so
do we have any questions from the crew?
Yes, this question is for Miss Estelle. So you're an artist, you're a show host, an author, an actor. Is there a project or any project realm that you haven't entered that you're looking to?
Today, I say no. That's a lot. It's a lot of things, and I'm enjoying the pace. I feel like once I stop doing one of those things, I have more space, and I'll probably be like, or God's gonna open the capacity for me as soon as I say no, and it's gonna be another thing on top. So I can't call it right now. I'll leave it in the air. But right now, I'll say, I'm happy. It's a good time right now. Yeah.
Any more questions from the crew?
I'll ask a quirky one. For you, Cam, how do you select your hat for the day?
I have a follow-up to that question. So when you're done, I have a follow-up question.
Everything was good until she said, I have a quirky question. And I'm like, what are you saying? My hat is quirky? Nah. I don't. I think there's a process. It's a part of my routine. My dad instilled this in me early to pick your clothes out the night before. And I have a large hat selection. And I'm going to take this time to, if you like the hats that I'm wearing, please go get your hat at mashikahats.com and order yours today. And you can, too, be quirky.
Now, I have a follow-up. Do you have now people have a wig crypt. Do you have a hat space that you directly put them in there? Like this is...
No, the thing about hats, and I have a lot, and I'm so meticulous about how it's placed when it's not on my head, right? Because there's times where like this hat, it has its shape.
Yep.
You can't put the hat down flat on the floor because over time it'll pick up that shape.
Right.
So you'll have to put it this way. And then people who don't know about hats, and then I see it and I'm like, no, don't do
Pick
that.
it back up.
Like,
Yeah.
like-
I asked that question because I have a shoe crypt. I have a shoe problem, right? I know I love shoes. So like I do the same thing. I'm always like, how do you store it? Like how does it, is it like temperature control? Like what is it? How does it go?
It's really how it's hung.
Okay.
It's hung control.
Okay.
Because if you hang it a certain type way, and as I'm picking my outfits out, the last thing I pick out is my hat. And there's been, I've picked the hat out first, like as, you know, Berto, the lead hat maker at Mashika, he creates a hat, or Omar, and I see it and then I go off of that because it's a new thing.
Yeah.
But all in all, it just comes down to how it's placed or how it's hung up, and I just expect it to be ready to wear. Now the issue is if it's not, then I have to iron it. Depending on the felt quality, depending on a lot of different things, it can't impact the shape and mold of the hat.
It wasn't even it was a real question because I feel the same way about shoes. It's like if you don't wear them for a certain amount of time without having the thing in them, with the shoe holder within them,
For sure.
it like everything fucks up. You have to make sure they're healed correctly.
No, for
Like,
sure.
Your weight goes up and down. It's a lot that happens with shoes that people are just like,
No, that's a real thing. Like I even realized with shoes, if it's next to another shoe, it can bleed on. It's like, bro, what is this blue denim and red? And then why is that all white shoe now turn
yellowish,
like tan?
It's a lot. That's dope. That's good to know.
Come on now. I'm really like a connoisseur. I'm big on the details. So when you popped in here with these rings and these earrings, I'm like, she my type of guy.
You know,
You know what I'm saying?
I be
Respectfully.
Thank
Respect.
you. Of course, I appreciate it. And I like your hair too.
Thank you.
Like I like it with the hat, the whole. It's a good time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Any more questions from the crew? We don't have any more questions. That means that this is the conclusion of Funky Friday. But as we end things here, and as we always end things here, when I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
All right, I'm going to give you an example. We're going to start with this camera, then we're going to go to that camera, and then we're going to finish with that camera. And when I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
So I'm going to say one finger, then I'm going to go to one pinky, then I'm going to go to one thumb, and then when I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
Here we go. You ready?
I think so.
One finger, one pinky, one thumb, all together. One love. You dig. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate you, darling.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Oh, I'm
goodness.
so happy. You're magical.
Thank you.
Thank you.